You are putting your actors in the wrong place. Hello everybody, my name is Marco Bagnoli, I'm a cinematographer, and today we're looking at a commercial where I'm going to show you that your lighting, color grading, everything you do is perfect, it just looks good, but your actor is sometimes in the wrong place, and that is what you're keeping away from getting a cool cinematic look. After watching this video, you should be able to shoot something like this. Now look at this shot. Wow, nice atmosphere, nice textures, nice everything. Why does this shot look so good? And I told you at the beginning of the video, it's actually the placement of your actor. What do we mean with that? I'm telling you in a minute. First things first, what are the most central parts why this image looks good? First, our star actor, our window. Always have something alive, bright in your image. This is what helps you lead your lighting direction and overall mood of the scene. Because when I know when the camera is, this is the framing I got. I have the corner of the wall in the center of the image. I have something to do here with our actor. Here's a little bit of wall and a bed. So a lot of people will now start, okay, where do I put the light? But the question isn't there. The question actually doesn't exist while the light is coming from here. This is our visible or natural light source because we see it. This is the window. So every light should actually come from this direction. Sure, there can be a window or a door, but it's not established. So without establishing it, most of the time, it will feel very off and unnatural when light is coming from this direction as a key light. But because we have it here totally in the frame, it works great because now the first thing you do is put sheets, curtains, something in front of the window that we have a natural diffusion, because actually filming a window which is just glass looks ugly because most of the time there's a street in the background or something unpleasing to look. So we diffuse it a little bit. Then next thing, how do we light a window? Normally you would expose further outside most of the time, but sometimes we don't want it. When we want this hot feeling from outside, it should be dark in here and the hot light is blasting from outside. So what I would do is I would put a butterfly a little bit bigger than the window. Here a 6x6 or an 8x8. Let's choose an 8x8. Ultra bounce would be enough. So place an 8x8 ultra bounce on an angle, put some big lights on the ground, something like an XT26 or something similar. Just blast the light into a butterfly. Now we have an even overexposed exposure that gets a soft light into the room. So that's how we get the exposure on the window. Next problem is now light is sitting everywhere. We don't want it. We want a controlled scenario. We want this deep contrast and cinematic look. So what we do now is black everything out. Use molten on T-bars and flag every wall that is not visible. Now we are taking away this light because this light can now bounce nowhere. It just gets sucked up by the black fabric and now we have nice contrast. Why is this placement of this character, this woman, so genius? Because we as cinematographer work in layers, and when we put the darker subject, which is this woman, in front of a bright source, we create a layer, because our goal is most of the time we have a 2D image and we try to make it as three-dimensional as possible. So we try to work in light layers like bright, dark, bright, dark, bright. As you can see with these highlights and how we set up the shot, we created multiple layers. And sometimes, or a lot of people, when they're going for this dark look, and it doesn't have to be a silhouette most of the time, but we tend to have silhouettes like this because it creates a nice separation. And sometimes the facial expression of a character is not important. It's more about the movement and that we see people overall. So when you would just place her here, we wouldn't have this nice separation. We actually put her in front of this framing. We have a second effect that we have, it's much better for leading the view of our audience to put someone in front of a circle or a square, because now they are framed like a painting and the viewer is looking much more in this direction. Also, viewers tend to look at the brightest part of the image, and with this we have brightest part in the middle row, then a completely separation because she's very dark and the background is pretty bright, that we just have to look at her. So great cinematography, great direction of the audience. Also, this whole effect wouldn't work when the wall wouldn't be this nice dark texture. You actually need something with a little bit of texture, dark colors, because when the overall room is just white, I hate white rooms, it just makes the image not clean, just boring, and the light doesn't move and flow as nicely. So we have the possibility to have darker colors on the wall with nice textures. Textures always great because it's interesting. Your shots will look a lot better without doing nothing at all. So this is the next shot we're looking at. Now we are in a more warmer location. This is the bathroom. We have this white walls that I hate so much, but they fixed it actually with this warmer tint. You just don't want in a scene where it's moody and everything have just blank white colors. I think it kills the mood. So we are setting here the white balance to a more warmer tone, which helps the image a lot. Also, they added warmer towels and everything in this image so that we can argue more that the feeling of warmness also comes from colors that are used in this image. So what is different than on the take before? Just a few things. Like I said before, the color temperature is totally different, but overall the technique is exactly the same. We have our light source in the image. Then we have a little bit more blinds in here to diffuse the light and control the light a little bit more. But here I would say the overall fill, if we look at them, is a little bit more. The light wraps around a little bit more. So there's two ways how you can achieve that. One is the light source itself is a little bit softer, but the other thing you can do is adding a top light. So just top light on the ceiling, just on a low percentage, and also at an angle, not completely over them, just a bit behind them on an angle, so that the light wraps a bit across the face. Also possibility, but not in this location because they are facing downwards. Put the light here in the corner so that it's hitting her this face, another light in this corner that is hitting her face, but you can see on the placement how she will block her light, that it's not possible this way. So I think they work with the light that they put somewhere around here. Just a tag, doesn't have to be much, just that the light wraps a little bit more around them. And then, like I said before, you still have to black out the other side of the room with molten. Also this wall a little bit so that the light is not bouncing back. You don't want the light to bounce back because again, we want to create layers. Because now we are dark bright. If she would have great or exactly the same exposure as the background, it wouldn't feel as three-dimensional. And that's not our goal at all. Here, another shot from a commercial. And like I said before, you actually can see a pattern. It's always the same. And we start noticing it. This technique, and in a lot of commercials, a lot of movies, they just switch up the form here. But we have a window. We drop the exposure so that's not clipping. But we still have a butterfly in the background so that we don't see the outside. We have texture in the curtain so that it doesn't look boring. Then we expose for it black or reduce the exposure of this wall because it's not important for the scenery. And then we put the actor in this oval shape, let them be black out, just a silhouette, because we don't need to see actually a lot of facial expression because the silhouette and the acting, what's happening, speaks for itself. So, and with just these 2-3 steps, again, great cinematic image where the audience have to look at it. There's no possible way to look any other direction than on this woman and the child because it's framed and lit so perfectly. Just another little insert. Don't forget your close-ups. I have the feeling people forget their close-ups for this very emotional scene. There was a time where movies were just close-ups so that we don't have any whites at all. But now because everything got so wide, we forgot our close-ups. That doesn't mean that you have action, close-up, action, close-up, action, close-up. It's much more impactful when you have this 1 or 2 close-ups where it's just in the right moment so that you can hit the emotion at the right time. So if you enjoyed this video, I really would appreciate subscription from you. My name is Marco Bagnoli and I'll see you next time.